I believe that Bungie can deliver so much more than they're giving us. They've done it before. We had Halo, which was some of the most masterful story I think I've seen. And now we have this line from Varix.
Aramis, you are the real coward!
That just hurts. It hurts to listen to. That's painful. You know, Aramis is such a bad villain, to me at least. If you like her, no harm, no foul. You know, everybody's got their own taste, but to me, she doesn't compare to what we've faced before. I mean, we have slain hive gods and taken on these, like, huge challenges that were just mounted against us, and we always win. And yet Aramis is just kind of like, ooh, I got some ice. You want to fight me? And just like, you haven't heard of me? Really? I'm the God Slayer. I'm Young Wolf. You some punk ass. And then you know, right before her boss room, there's a guy standing there all badass. He's like, you want to get to Aramis? You got to get through me. And me and my brother literally spread his cheeks so fast and climbed up in there that he couldn't do anything. It was insane that he was standing so cool. Like, I thought he was going to be some sort of problem character, and then we were going to, like, ramp up the boss fight to the next one. But he didn't even stand a chance. It was done for. And then the funniest thing is when you actually get to Aramis and the cutscene starts playing. That was some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. She freezes your legs, you pull out your ghost, like, ghost, help me. And he just goes, nah, brah, can't do it. And falls to the floor. And then your guy goes, alright, well, I guess I'll use this. And he pulls out the splinter, and Aramis just goes, give me that shit. And she takes it from you right out of your hands. And your guy goes, alright, fuck it, power within. And it just explodes. And then he just starts whooping ass. I mean, she was so inconsequential in that whole storyline. Like, you could have thrown her whole storyline out, and I would have done nothing. It wouldn't have been any different. What is cool, I guess, is that you can... That cutscene where it's showing the Elixir on the planet and all that. I was interested in that. I thought that was neat. It was like the only good story I've gotten in a while. And then afterwards, too, the stuff that really intrigued me was Anna and Elsie talking about the Exo program. They should have focused more on Deepstone Crypt and just made the whole DLC about that. Find a way to work in the darkness powers in there, because that's what the Exos are. We just learned that. They're darkness-infused, Vex-infused creations. I'm not a lore guy, but I listened a little bit. And, you know, like, that sort of thing was amazing. No one really is going to remember Aramis a little bit down the line. It's just another thing we kind of, like, batted away. The DLC was at its most intriguing when you were focused on the Exo program. The raid was great, even though it was Taniks again. I mean, how many times we gotta kill that guy?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
But the raid was great. I had fun in it. There's room for error in that. It had a lot of, like, ingenious designs, basically. But the rest of Beyond Light just fell short, and even as more content was trickled in, it just felt like more of the same grind we've been getting for how long? I mean, we used to get expansions that were expansions. You know, the base game got bigger, not smaller. We just lost 2/3 of a game that has been being built for how long? They should have just taken what we had there, and I would have honestly preferred it if they made a Destiny 3. Just taken more time, just said, hey, we'll still make a couple of content updates for Destiny 2 in the meanwhile, and then we'll have this big thing with Destiny 3. But then again, knowing Bungie, we probably would have just gotten a game with Beyond Light, and it would have been in the exact same state it is now, and cost us the same amount of money as a AAA game. Like, what happened to you, Bungie, man?
Why did you leave me?
The more I read into it, the more upset, you know, I get, because this is like a big franchise for me. I got Destiny memorabilia. I got a Cade poster on my wall. Like, we used to have some good characters. I wanted to see more from Zavala. I wanted to see more from Ikora, who's just been a statue for the past, like, 2 years. And the Hunters don't even have a Vanguard for the past, like, 2 years, too. That's crazy. The story hasn't progressed in 2 years. I feel like we're still at the same kind of spot we were at before. Just now we have ice powers. The ice powers don't even difference from your light powers. It's kind of the same sort of thing where it's just, ooh, hit them with powerful thing. You know, they said they wanted to put the supers on the same, like, wavelength too, and not have them so homogenized. But if you look at stasis, we all use the same grenades. The only things that are different are, like, the last two parts, but we share grenades. That's pretty homogenized, and the powers really affect the same way too. It's just the ice goes out and freezes something, and then we shatter it. You know, it's really homogenized. I guess it's because they want less work when balancing. But when you just reskin Fallen... Oh, wait, that's another one. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but just stick with me. I thought that, you know, when I saw the trailer, the Fallen would have these, like, cool new abilities, and, you know, it'd be kind of really awesome to fight Fallen that are on the same level as, you know, us, because we're, like, the big, powerful things. Or maybe make the ice powers have some sort of drawback, because we're constantly being told how dangerous these things are. Like, you're told throughout the whole game, darkness bad, light good, darkness make you go kill friends. And none of that is shown. It literally just feels more like light powers. Just another way of using it. And I was excited for it when I saw the trailer, because we were supposed to get Fallen on par with Guardians. Instead, we got Fallen again. It's the same sort of Fallen too. They're just reskinned to look like Europa Fallen. And that is just insane for the 7th year of Destiny. You think that even though they were battling COVID, I know you got, like, the disease running rampant, and they gotta work hard and work from home. We've seen this before. I hate to be pessimistic, because there's a lot of people who, like, glass optimists, you know, they're like, hey, but there comes a point when you gotta see the pattern, the writing's on the wall. It's been there for how long? Never before has an expansion deleted half your game. And sunsetting is such a bad idea. It really is. Honestly, people paid for the DLCs, and they're still they can't even access some of those guns. Like, they can't even use them. Because they're power capped at where they would be, and if they try to be competitive, or they try to use them in the strikes or additional content that's coming out soon, it's going to be useless. It's not even going to be on par. You're going to be 200 leveled. So everything you paid for is useless. Even if they sold it at a discount, you know, the DLCs, because right now they're not being sold at a discount. It's still full price. You just can't use anything in those DLCs. You get the story, which was also short and kind of like a bounty simulator for one of them at least. You know, it's just mind-boggling to me. I don't know how they're doing this, or they're getting away with this, but I think Destiny 2 should have stayed where it was pre-Beyond Light, because that was amazing. And they should have just worked in a sequel. I would have been okay with a couple years wait in between. Personally, like, that's not a big deal to me. I would have been happy if we got a full product the first time around, or the second time around. But we don't get that. We're Destiny players. This is like our crack. You know? we take a little bit, we're like, oh, you get that moment of, like, power trip, and then 2 seconds later you're like, oh, they nerfed me and took all my stuff away. And gave me this wet banana to slap Fallen with. Yeah, it's a strange situation to be a Bungie fan, really. What are we doing? Kill me, please. But, you know, I still think the game has great potential. It's an amazing franchise. Destiny is at its best when you feel small in a universe that feels larger than you. And with Destiny's T for Teen rating, it's going to be hard to show the more mature elements and write a really big story that is emotional and captivating, you know? It all comes down to that, to Bungie's decisions. I mean, I don't know who if Luke Smith is causing the problems, but it's been downhill for Destiny for quite a while. And, you know, it sucks to see, because Destiny has such great potential. And it really sucks for their IPs going forward, for such a beloved studio that made such big waves in such immense ways, to just constantly turn their back on the community. I see hunters even asking for the Shatter Dive nerfs, or some sort of Crucible refresh. Like, people who have the overpowered ability are like, this is busted, you know? It's crazy. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Just a quick tangent. As always, if I wanted to make clear and concise points, I would have wrote a script, Sorry this one wasn't as funny as the other ones. I know I like to make crack jokes and all that, but this has been on my mind for a while, and I didn't feel like, you know, happy-go-lucky suits the material. So if you like this sort of thing, you know, discuss down below. I answer. I'm always up to talk about it. And I've been Riley, and thanks for watching.